welcome everyone to our continuing series of Srila Prabhupada's Disciples' Reflections. And this week I'm very pleased to have His Grace Puskar Prabhu in conversation. Now, Puskar is one of ISKCON's major artists, and I've been looking at some of his paintings online as well. Now, he's a wonderful artist. He's really amazing. And so I'm very excited to have him here today. And so can I ask you, Prabhu, please show us around your studio.
Okay, so this studio is built onto my house, which is a manufactured home. So the house was there in 92. This was here in 96. So it's built on, and I don't know what you're seeing. I see you taking up part of my box, which is a problem because then I can't see what you're seeing.
We need to go a little lower down. We're watching the ceiling right now. There we go. That's it. There's the windows.
All right. So that was built with the idea of, having a lot of windows and light and 2 skylights above.
Yes.
1, 2.
Wonderful.
And across the way, it's about 22 by 20 feet, 400 and whatever, yes. 40 or so, and 30, I don't know. So it's not always very tidy, but I have a lot of stuff here, like for me to get it all out is, first of all, here is a print. I do these prints on canvas, giclée prints. And let's see if you can see that. I don't know what we're seeing. I'll put it up higher. Here. This.
Come down a little bit. There we go. Is that the 6 Goswamis?
6 Goswamis.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I don't know how wonderful my aim is.
Well, we can see 3 or 4 of the Goswamis.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes. And over here, this is a print of an originals is, I'll have to get down here. You see this, it's quite lengthy, even though that is I'll get the hang of this. It's like a mirror.
I can see a cow. Is that the one that I just bought?
What I'm seeing here is you superimposed above my box. My box is always going to be horizontal, right?
Yes, yeah, you're horizontal.
Okay. I can't do anything with my fingers to move it. I can just figure out myself what I'm doing. I'm sure people were used to it.
That's the painting that I bought from you the other week, isn't it? Yes, yes.
You saw it?
Yes, that's the one I bought off of you, that print, yes. And I'm getting it stretched right now.
You got it for me? How did you get it? I can't remember.
I'm getting it stretched. At
I sent you one. I don't remember. I've sent out a bunch. So.
That's right. I met you at the temple, and you had a print in your car.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
the exact same one. It's actually
that's right. It's the same one.
40 inches.
That you had one at home that was already framed. Yeah. I went for the unframed because it's easier to bring home.
So the original is actually 5 feet.
Yeah.
Which is 60 inches, and this is 40.
Yeah.
And so, you know what that looks like.
Yes. It's such a beautiful painting. I love the way the cows have these tears in their eyes. And even Krishna and Balaram have tears in their eyes as well. So it's a very emotional.
And there is, let's see what you can see. Yeah, you didn't have time. You could have come over yourself and made this whole video. It would have been better than me making it.
Maybe one day.
Here is a popular Radha Krishna.
Yes.
That many people get. Okay.
Where did your interest in art start from? How did you start to get into becoming an artist?
Oh, I didn't give you one of my art books that would have explained a bunch of stuff because there's bio data there. I
Oh,
could send you one.
yeah, sounds
I
cool.
don't know the next time you're coming here, but I could send you one. This is put it up here. This famous Prabhupada
Oh,
picture.
yeah, there we go. Were your parents artists as well?
What's that?
Were your parents artists?
My mom, yeah, she did some amateur watercolor. And my father, when I was a baby, actually, he was more than dabbling with abstract art. He was never trained as an artist, but he liked to do abstract. So
Yes,
he actually studied abstract art, without studying the figure or anything. He studied with a pretty well established abstract artist. Here is something. Let's see what you can see here. Down, 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 up. There's a little Krishna Balaram
oh, yeah,
picture. It's
yeah.
quite little. It is.
In
It's on
watercolor.
an 8 by 11
Yeah.
or 12-inch sketch pad. It was just a rough sketch, which I developed with watercolor over several years. I have about 150 that I work on. So this one, quite a few now. I got so frustrated with the watercolor, I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So I varnished the watercolor, got the idea from some other professional artist, and now I'm painting oil over the watercolor. Because watercolor, you have to plan it out and do a certain way. These were never planned that way. So, yeah, I'm doing oil over the watercolor. And yeah, so they're coming out like real paintings. But of course, the paper's weak.
Yeah,
And many of them the paper was stretched to the max, and I had to put extra sheet underneath.
yeah,
And it won't last as long as canvas. The canvas could last hundreds of years. They'd be lucky. If this is under glass or something, it might last, so much longer. But so
yeah.
that's one. But I have many. Yesterday I worked on this similar situation. This is a. Let me put it in light better. Can you see
Yeah, I
this
can
one?
see that. Come down a little bit with your computer. Yes, there we go. I'm just getting their faces. Do you
This
find,
also was a watercolor. It
yeah,
was a colored pencil. Actually, I used watercolor pencils and watercolor, and then I went over with oil, and
with
it's almost
oil?
actually, yeah, it's almost
Hmm,
getting finished. And in this pad,
I like that. So, do you find do you prefer to paint in oil or do you prefer pencil or watercolor or acrylic?
no, I mean watercolor is just because I'm lazy, and people aren't ordering, big paintings that like cost, $7, $8, $10,000.
Yeah,
Most people are not ordering that, so I decided some years ago to develop some of the watercolors, or many actually. It's becoming more and more. So I have like 8, 10 sketch pads, not, of course, full. Not each one's full, and I'm not developing each. I can't turn pages on that one because it's just working on. But I could turn pages, say on. Here's one. See if you can. Let me see if you can get a view here. I have a little pile of sketch pads. In this corner, there's 3, and then you see this is a 4th. Whether you're seeing, I don't know. And that was
to
a
come
5th on
down
my
again.
easel. And then
Mm.
they're all over the joint. Some are in my cabinet. And here's one that I started recently. This was let's see if you see this. Um,
There we go. I'm getting Krishna's face.
mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Need to back off on this stuff.
So did you I see Krishna's features and Radharani's features are the same in all your paintings. So did you get
The same? They're not supposed to be exactly.
were you instructed by Prabhupada how to paint their features?
I don't know if you'd say they're the same, but did
Well, you
you?
could
When did
see,
you?
yeah,
If in your vision, they might look the same. They're not meant to look exactly the same, but
yeah.
any artist doing anything, the stuff's always going to look similar. Leonardo's stuff looks like Leonardo stuff.
Yes, yes.
Rembrandt stuff. If so I don't know what the same means. If you had art training, I might be able to say, well, yeah, but people who have any art training know that there's a style. Everyone has their own style.
Maybe that's what I mean, a style. So did that develop through Prabhupada's instructions?
It's partially, but we just everyone develops their own way. And
Yes.
here's just some of my racks with art in them. What you can see here. And can you see anything here?
Yes, I can
This
see.
is just a Navadvip version of Lord Chaitanya. And
Yes, Lord Chaitanya.
how about, what do I have here? Not that one. Yeah, so it's hard with one hand to get stuff out without knocking a whole joint over. So as far as them looking similar, here's a couple more sketch pads. So I varnished these the other day. Let's see what you're seeing here.
So you varnish them with just standard varnish?
It's good varnish. Can you
From
see?
those, or is it something special? So
Can you
did
see
you
anything?
paint this with pencil, or I can't see?
I started. This is still a lot of colored pencil.
Colored
Can you see it?
pencil, yeah.
And so now I'm going to do oil over it,
And then you could
and this as well, and see. Here
So
is.
even though you've varnished it, you still put the oil on top of the varnish?
No, the whole idea of putting the varnish is so I can do the oil. You don't want to put oil paint directly onto not theoretically, but actually, you should never ever paint on paper. And if you do, you should always rather prime it with white so that the paint won't soak into the paper and destroy the paper. But the second best thing is now to varnish it. Primer is gesso or a white something. And if you were doing paper, you would do acrylic, because acrylic can be done on paper. It won't rot and kill it, but the oil will kill it after 60, 80 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And so the second best thing I'm doing is varnishing it, then painting it so it won't soak through the paper as much. There's some soaking.
Yes.
But not nowhere near as much. So then I'll revarnish it over the paint when it's done.
Wonderful. Next time I come down to Alachua, I'll have to look at these some smaller pictures then and see about.
This studio is only like 2-3 minute drive. If I walk through my woods,
yes,
that way, my land goes right onto the temple property.
Who would you say is your most influence in art when it comes to art? Who's influenced?
You don't have, artists won't say, usually so and so, but because you get influenced by everything, look out the window this time of day, look out the door here and there. You see something online. Before there was internet, we'd have different pictures, get ideas, some old ancient paintings, other paintings, or some photograph, or just in your mind, something happening. I could give you an interesting example of, I can't show you immediately, but there's one painting of Gopal Krishna. It will come from the 50s or 40s, and it's done by a guy named Kapoor, long dead, but his grandson was used to come to Krishna Balaram Mandir. I met him once, and he was an art teacher in Mathura. So Bhakti Siddhanta, a sculptor, he introduced me to him, and I'm not sure if he knew his grandfather. He may have can't remember that part. But this painting, I probably love this painting. It shows Krishna, and he's I'm trying to get in to show you, but anyway, Krishna's got his arm around calf and a deer, and he's sitting on a rock. It's very kind of the background is kind of darkish, and it's a rock, and that's all that's in it. And there's like a suggestion of some water in the back. A very simple painting, but Krishna looks really beautiful, right? Prabhupada called that. He said that's how Krishna looks. He said, if you want to, so yeah, okay. So if I was geared up and this was a big deal, I would find that, which at great hassle. I've got 10 different portfolios to look through and all. But people have copied it. There's a whole history of the art department. People will come through who are artists, and we'd give them that painting to copy among about 5 or 6 things to see how good they were, and also the temples needed paintings, so it was worked both ways, right?
Yes.
So I've done 2 or 3, 4 copies in my life, and so anyway, that guy who did the painting, his grandson told me how he got inspired was he saw this lady, a dobiwala, a washerwoman, and she was sitting with her arm around the laundry.
Oh.
Yeah, and he said, "Don't move," right? And he got his sketch pad and turned it into what Prabhupada said is what Krishna looks like. So that's good enough for us, right? And you've seen this picture a million times, Gopal
Yes,
Krishna.
I know which one you
They've
mean.
done other copies, it's hard. ISKCON, Muralidhar was very expert. Now he's kind of been in my the last 40 years, but he did a copy which is very, very good, but no, he couldn't exactly do that. But so there you go, that he had this washer lady, you lived in India, Dobiwala, and she was the inspiration, or what do they call it, Udipan, according to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is an inspiration or for something. But so yeah, and then there's similar instances. Like I'll show you. Like I guess I didn't show you my book one, but here's a copy of my book, and this here's one here. Okay. I don't know what you'll see.
Oh, okay.
You may have seen it. This isn't the whole painting on the cover. The whole painting's in the book. But let me see how quick, if I can ever find it, which is not easy.
Yes, I'll have to get a copy of your book.
So the book came out in 97.
Yes.
And you've been in the States how long?
2006. So
yeah. So it came out, 9 years before. So I still have 400 copies, three something. There were 5,000. A bunch was sent to, you're from where? Australia, right?
England.
You're from England. Oh, but you got like an Aussie accent.
Be careful what you say.
Well, a little bit. Okay, so
I'm from the south.
Amita, you know Amita?
He
used to be in charge of the BBT. He called it the BBL in England.
Yes, yes.
Limited. So he's now trying to get me to come. There's a reunion of some sort. You're not going to pay my way, but you get really nice lodging if you get to England.
Yes.
But you don't know Amita.
So Amita, I haven't met him, no.
No, Amita, yeah, he's a Prabhupada disciple. So he's still in charge of books, but he's in charge of Motilal, which is probably the biggest Indian importer of, Indian books. Like when I did the book, he bought 500, 800,000, I forget so many. Narishwar got a bunch. And I don't know why I brought up Amita. Oh, I know. Because mostly I'm talking about this cover. So what happened was I was visiting my parents in the mid-90s in LA. And so there's a Getty Museum, there. And so there was one painting in there of a French aristocratic kid. Of course, unless you were an aristocrat, you couldn't afford to get your portrait painted in the 1700s, right? And he had his arm around, like a dog in
Okay.
this position. So I didn't have anything with me, so I went down to the car and got a piece of cheap typing paper and with a ballpoint pen. I did about a 40-minute, 20-minute sketch probably, and I
Yes.
just liked the pose, so I just put it away. And then later, I was fooling around watching some video, Indian video of Gopal Krishna and Radharani, and it had some good parts to it, but like they looked way too old to be who they were. But compared to modern Bollywood, it was probably better, But then anyway, so I wish I make it, I still it, and then find if there was something I wanted to sketch. So I got this girl, and it was supposed to be Radharani. So I sketched it, and I thought, wow, this would be good. I could just see her behind this Krishna, which I had in my mind, which was had only like a little pen sketch, and then I made a painting out of that. So the two of them, they're always two figures. I got that idea, and I sold it for like 6,500 way back in the 90s. It was hanging in a temple. It was 5 feet by 4, and
Yes.
okay. There's some. This is. Let's see what I got. The book. In the book, there's pictures of me in Hawaii. Here, painting.
Oh yes, yes.
Stuff like that, and there's a painting. I still have this. What am I tapping? This painting.
Yeah, that painting.
I still have only 15 inches tall. This picture, but it's been on the cover of a couple books, so I'm happy. So even though I didn't do it for but this painting was specifically done. That I'm painting. This one was done for. I got it in there still for Bhagavatam. Not this, but the one I'm painting here. Not this one either. This one has the 6 sons of Devaki. So I've got it in the studio, and it's more convenient actually to go through the book, isn't it? See here.
Yes.
Yeah. Then to walk around with a laptop, try to figure out.
Walk around with the laptop. Yes.
See that there's a sketch for here.
Yes.
For that painting. Yeah.
Do you like to sketch with pencil then? You use mostly pencil. You said that you used a biro because that's all that you had at that time for that quick sketch. But do you like to sketch with pencil? What sort of?
Yeah, we use charcoal usually to sketch up.
Charcoal as well. Yeah.
Charcoal. It's very malleable. You can kind of mush it around your fingers and then erase it. Usually that's what people use when they're doing an idea sketch for my wife's wondering if this power is going to run off this thing, but there must be a way. Why don't you go check it here? Anyway, she can see how much power is left on it. I don't have no clue. Okay, so
I hope you've got plenty of power for your laptop.
What's that?
I hope you've got plenty of power.
No, I don't know. I don't know. She's asking me, whispering about plugging it in, but okay, so this painting on my left might be your right of Lord Chaitanya, and that's the Digvijaya Conquering Pandit. It was for Back to Godhead. It's a small painting about 15 inches, and that he had a dream of Saraswati telling him that this Nimai Pandit is actually Krishna. And the other painting is done during this one. This one was in the old CC books. I don't know if they keep it in there anymore. And that was in the Acha 4 or 5. 4. Lord Chaitanya was dreaming or seeing Radha Krishna in a little pavilion, and there's some gopis sitting there. That was probably the best one I did for the marathon. That was famous marathon. We had to finish all those. This shows the.
Naimisharanya.
Yeah, that was done in Italy in '82. And it's really, if I've been in Vrindavan, and beautiful scenery there. And we could go outside and actually see not a banyan tree, but we could see most of the stuff. But I turned it into a banyan tree. Did you have this one? This one was in the Krishna art book.
Oh yes, I remember that one.
It's hung in the temple for years. I finally saw this wealthy devotee bought it, quite a few paintings for me. so it's not there now. And this was a
Rustodons.
Yeah, this is what you're seeing is about 12 feet, but the painting itself was no, the painting is 12 feet, but this comes out to 2 by 6, so it is 12 feet. I think it was 16 foot.
16 foot long.
So this is 16 by foot, but when I make a print of it, I cut off the edges so that it's only 12 because it's too much background. It's too long for most people's wall, but they can handle 5 feet. It comes out to 5 by 2 when I print it. And so wealthy doctor and engineer Indians up in Pennsylvania, they have it. And this one's hanging in a temple. This is the Jarikhanda. This is in the temple.
I have that.
In general,
I have
three.
That.
What?
I have that picture of Lord Chaitanya in the forest there. We're on outside here in my hallway.
Yeah. You didn't get it from me though.
No, a devotee just gave me it.
Sukara. Let me get Suk. She went out. So I don't know. She should look at the power thing because
Dharma Bhavana Prabhu. He gave me it in Dallas.
Dharma Bhavana with a giant beard. The guy with a huge beard.
No, the guy who did sold artwork in Dallas.
Who am I thinking of? Anyway. All right. So yeah, this one I did at Bhaktivedanta Manor. I started most of it I did when they had Croom Court, and then they closed up Croom Court. Very brilliant Bhagavan, and they sold it, and it's 80 inches. And then it hung in Hawaii for years and years. And then I went to Hawaii, did a copy of this one, which was definitely not as good, and rolled it up back in 2015 and brought it to Mahaprabhu. He put it up in the Italian Museum in Villa Vrindavan. So it looks good there. And what else do we have here? Okay, here's the one.
I have that as well outside. Yes,
yeah, that was part of the after the marathon.
Yes.
And this one, my other hand, is still in New Vrindavan in the temple room.
Yes.
I had a whole bunch of New Vrindavan, but not all of them are there, to say the very least.
Here you go. Let me show you.
Sukara.
Yeah, so the Dharma Bhavana in Dallas.
Maybe you could look at the screen and see how much power is left.
So this is the Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Here you go.
Okay.
Lord Chaitanya, and he put it in this lovely frame for me. Well, he gave me it. So that was kind of him. Well, because I was friends with his wife, and then the one you said of Krishna dance.
Where's the wife? All right, we're plugging. Yeah, oh, you have that one too. Well, yeah. I'm gonna have to move. See, I'm in the daylight. But what about that? Can you see how much power in it? No idea.
Hi there.
Hi. Technical wizards here.
Yes, you're the technical wizard. He's the artist, you know, and you do the technical things.
All right, I'll sit here and see what get daylight on everything, but won't have to happen this time. I think it's cool. Okay, so here is